Okay, so you're getting ready for a secondary school teaching assistant interview,
Huh?
and you want to like really stand out.
Yeah.
Not just, answer the questions,
Yeah.
but really blow them away.
Yeah.
You've got all these RoleCatcher resources, right?
Mhm.
Interview guides, career overviews, even like how AI can give you an edge in your application.
For sure.
So our goal here is to like really give you that knowledge and those strategies so you
Yeah.
can be confident and land that job.
Exactly.
So first off, let's like make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay.
What is a secondary school teaching assistant even DO?
Right.
I mean, it's got to be more than just helping out in the classroom.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You're a super important part of the teaching team.
Okay.
Working with students directly, getting materials prepped, supporting the teacher in a ton of ways. And with all the new technology, you might even be helping teachers use all those new tools.
Oh, that's a good point. The career guide even mentions how tech is changing things up. But let's dive into interview prep.
Okay.
RoleCatcher has a bunch of common questions they see pop up. And the first one's like a classic.
Okay.
Can you tell us about your experience working with secondary school students?
Right.
Seems simple enough, but what are they really trying to find out?
They want to know if you really get teenagers.
Hmm.
It's not just about listing off past jobs or volunteer stuff. It's about showing that you understand what it's like to work with this age group, the good and the bad.
So like the challenges, the rewards.
Exactly.
So how should you approach this then?
Be specific, focus on the experience that really matters.
Okay.
Did you tutor high schoolers, volunteer at a youth center?
Mm-hmm.
Even babysitting could be relevant if you spin it right, like talking about how you helped teens learn or manage their time.
Right.
Don't just say you enjoy working with kids.
Oh, yeah.
Way too generic.
Yeah.
Give them real examples that prove you have the patience and skills to actually connect with teenagers.
So like, I spent 2 summers as a camp counselor, leading groups of teenagers in outdoor activities.
Yeah, perfect.
And I learned to adapt my communication style to keep them engaged, even when things got tough.
There you go.
Okay, so that shows you've learned how to handle teenagers.
Exactly. You've been in the trenches,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where RoleCatcher's AI comes in. You can plug your experience into their system,
Okay.
and it'll tell you how well it matches up with the job description, and even suggest ways to make your answer better.
Wow, that's like having a personal feedback system.
It really is.
So cool.
And don't forget about those follow-up questions.
All right.
They might ask, what's the biggest challenge you faced working with teenagers, and how did you overcome it?
Oh, good one. Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Sounds good.
How do you ensure that students are engaged and motivated in the classroom?
Okay, getting to the heart of good teaching.
Right.
What are they trying to figure out here? They want to see if you know how to create a learning environment that makes students actually want to learn.
That makes sense.
This is where you can really shine, share specific techniques you've used or seen work.
So like what kind of techniques are we talking about?
Think interactive activities, using real-world examples,
Yeah.
breaking down those complicated topics into bite-sized pieces.
Right.
Maybe you've used technology to make engaging presentations
Okay.
or used games to help students remember what they learned.
So what should we avoid saying?
Don't make it all about you, the teacher. The focus should be on the students and how you're going to make learning relevant and exciting for them.
Right. Put the spotlight on the students.
Yeah, and avoid sounding unrealistic. Not every lesson is going to be a theatrical performance.
Right.
Be genuine and share approaches that are practical and that, work.
Right. You don't want to overpromise and underdeliver.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful.
Oh.
Their system can analyze your response and suggest ways to make it even more powerful so you're really hitting on those skills and strategies hiring managers want.
That's like having a virtual coach helping you get ready.
Exactly.
Okay, back to the question.
Yeah.
A good answer might be something like, I believe in hands-on learning that connects to students' lives.
Perfect.
I would use group projects, visual aids, and even field trips to make the material come alive.
Exactly. It's specific, it's engaging, and it shows you're thinking outside the box.
And they might ask a follow-up like, can you give me a specific example of how you would use technology to engage students in a history lesson?
There you go. Now you can talk about using interactive maps,
Oh, yeah.
virtual museum tours, or even creating a historical timeline using digital tools.
That's cool.
It's all about showing them you're not afraid to try new approaches and make learning fun and something they'll actually remember.
Yeah, make it memorable. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
This one's a bit tougher. How do you handle challenging behavior in the classroom.
The classroom management question.
Right. They want to know if you can keep things under control when things get a little rowdy.
Pretty much, yeah.
So how do we handle this one?
Focus on what you do to prevent problems in the first place, and then how you intervene when they do happen.
Okay.
Talk about setting clear expectations, building positive relationships with students, and using positive reinforcement.
Got it.
Then discuss how you would handle specific behavior issues calmly and professionally.
Okay.
Remember, the goal is to create a safe and respectful environment where kids can learn not to punish them.
So what should we avoid saying?
Don't sound like a dictator, okay? Avoid things like, I'd send them straight to the principal's office, or I believe in strict discipline.
Yeah.
Focus on how you can de-escalate things, redirect behavior, and work with students to find solutions that actually work.
So being firm but fair.
Exactly.
And showing you care about how the student is doing. So a good response might be, I believe in being proactive when it comes to classroom management.
Okay.
I would set clear rules and routines right from the start and consistently reward good behavior.
Great.
If a student acts up, I would talk to them calmly and privately, redirect their attention, and remind them of the classroom rules.
That's a great example.
Okay.
It shows you're thinking ahead and are ready to handle tough situations without being harsh.
Right. And RoleCatcher's AI can help here too.
Oh, absolutely.
How so?
They can look at your answer and give you feedback tailored to what schools in your area are looking for in terms of classroom management skills.
Wow, like a personalized cheat sheet.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, they might follow up with something like,
What kind of follow-up?
can you give me an example of a time when you successfully de-escalated a situation with a disruptive student?
Oh, so you got to have a real story ready.
Exactly.
Okay, but I think we're going to have to save that for part 2 of our deep dive,
Sounds good.
where we'll keep breaking down these questions and giving you the tools to really ace that interview.
Can't wait. So they just asked you for a real story about de-escalating a situation?
Yeah, like when things got a little out of hand.
Right, and you want to show them you can stay calm, figure out what's going on, and take action.
Let's say I was volunteering in a classroom,
Yeah.
and there's this student who keeps interrupting and distracting everyone.
Okay, I see. What should I do?
Well, first, I'd try some subtle signals.
Oh.
You know, a look, a little hand gesture, see if they get the hint. If that doesn't work, then I'd talk to them privately.
Okay.
Acknowledge their enthusiasm, but remind them about the classroom rules.
And what if they still keep disrupting?
Maybe try redirecting their energy, give them a specific job, or involve them more in the lesson.
Oh, okay.
You could say something like, it seems like you have a lot of great ideas. Why don't you help me write them on the board for everyone to see?
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. Turn that disruption into a positive.
Of course, if it keeps going, I'd definitely talk to the teacher and follow their lead.
Yeah, makes sense.
The main thing is to show that you can handle these situations with patience, a little creativity, and always with the student's best interest at heart.
And RoleCatcher's AI can help with this too, right?
For sure. It can analyze how you answer these behavioral questions
Okay.
and point out anything that might raise a red flag for the hiring manager, or things you could say to really showcase your skills.
Like a virtual interview coach.
Exactly.
That's awesome. All right, let's move on to another question.
Sounds good.
How do you differentiate your teaching to meet the needs of different students?
Now we're talking about inclusivity.
Right, because not every student learns the same way or at the same pace.
Exactly.
So what are they getting at with this question?
They want to know if you understand how to teach in a way that lets every student learn and grow, differentiated instruction.
Okay, yeah.
Are you committed to creating a learning environment where every student can thrive?
All right, so how should I answer this?
Start by acknowledging that students have different learning styles, different strengths and challenges. Talk about using a variety of teaching methods and materials to meet those differences.
Okay.
And be specific. Give examples of how you might change assignments, provide extra help, or offer enrichment activities.
Got it. So I could say something like, I understand that some students are visual learners while others learn best through hands-on activities.
Perfect.
So I would provide a variety of learning experiences like using visual aids, incorporating group projects, and offering individual instruction.
Excellent example. You totally nailed it.
Thanks.
But be ready for a follow-up question.
Oh, like what?
They might ask, can you describe a specific strategy you would use to support a student who is struggling with reading comprehension?
Okay, getting into specifics now.
Right. So you could talk about using graphic organizers to help the student visualize the text.
Yeah.
Or maybe breaking the reading down into smaller chunks.
What?
Or even pairing the student with a stronger reader for some peer support.
Those are all good ideas.
The main thing is to show that you have different tools in your toolbox and you're ready to adapt to meet each student's needs.
Makes sense. And RoleCatcher can give feedback on these answers too, right?
Absolutely. Their system can analyze what you say and make sure you're highlighting the specific differentiation strategies that the school is looking for.
Wow. It's like a roadmap to interview success.
It really is.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to another common question.
All right.
Can you give an example of a time when you went above and beyond to support a student's learning?
This is where you get to show how dedicated you are.
Right, your passion for helping students succeed.
So I should share a story that shows I'm willing to go the extra mile.
Exactly. Choose a specific anecdote that shows you're willing to put in the extra time and effort to help a student overcome a challenge or reach their goals.
What kind of story would work well?
It could be a time you tutored a student outside of class. Or maybe you helped them with a personal issue that was affecting their learning. Or you advocated for them to get extra support.
Right.
The point is to show that you're truly passionate about making a difference in students' lives.
So let's say I was tutoring a student who was struggling with math and lacked confidence.
Okay, classic situation.
What would be an example of going above and beyond?
Well, you could create custom practice problems tailored to their weaknesses.
Okay.
Spend extra time explaining things in a way they understand. Even reach out to their parents to offer support and suggestions.
Wow, that's going above and beyond.
And don't be afraid to share how your efforts made a difference.
Right.
Did the students' confidence improve? Did their grades go up?
Those details make the story even better.
For sure. It's about showing the impact you had as an educator.
I like that, showcasing your impact.
And before we move on, remember, RoleCatcher can help you craft this response too.
Oh, right.
Their AI can look at your story and suggest ways to make it even more powerful, highlighting the specific things you did and the positive results you achieved.
Like having a personal storytelling coach.
Exactly. All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about teamwork.
Okay.
Teamwork. Another common question is, how do you collaborate with teachers and other staff members to support student learning?
Teamwork is so important in a school.
Absolutely. The foundation of a successful school environment.
So what do they want to hear when they ask this?
They want to know if you're a team player,
Oh.
someone who can communicate well and contribute positively to the whole school community.
So it's not enough to just say, I work well with others.
You got to give them specifics.
So I should talk about my past experiences working in teams.
Yeah, highlight your communication style, your
No.
ability to listen and respect different opinions,
Okay.
and your willingness to share ideas and resources.
Got it. So I could say something like, in my previous role as a tutor, I regularly communicated with teachers to discuss student progress and brainstorm strategies to support their learning. I also collaborated with other tutors to share resources and best practices.
That's perfect. It shows you're a team player and you can work well with others.
Right.
Now, they might try to trip you up with a follow-up question.
Oh, like what?
They might ask, can you describe a time when you faced a disagreement with a colleague about a student's needs and how you handled the situation?
Okay, that's a tough one.
Yeah, but the key is to emphasize your ability to communicate respectfully, listen to different viewpoints, and find a solution that puts the student first.
Right.
You could say something like,
What should I say?
I would approach the situation with an open mind, actively listen to my colleagues' concerns, and try to understand their perspective.
Okay.
We would work together to find a solution that was best for the student, even if it meant compromising or asking a more experienced educator for guidance.
That shows you're willing to work things out.
Right, and that you prioritize the student's needs.
And I bet RoleCatcher can help refine this answer too.
Absolutely. Their AI can analyze your response and make sure you're showcasing your conflict resolution skills and your ability to navigate tricky situations.
Like having a virtual mentor in your corner.
Exactly. Now, let's switch gears a little and talk about supporting students with special needs.
Okay. Yeah, that's an important part of creating an inclusive classroom.
Definitely. They might ask something like,
How might they ask?
how do you ensure that students with special needs are included in the classroom?
That's a big one. What are they really looking for here?
They want to see if you're truly committed to creating a learning environment where all students feel welcome and supported, no matter their abilities or challenges.
So it's about going beyond just awareness and taking action.
Exactly. You need to show them, about inclusive practices and that you're willing to adapt your teaching to meet the needs of all learners.
So I could say something like, I believe that every student deserves the opportunity to learn and succeed regardless of their abilities or challenges.
Great start.
I would work closely with the teacher and special education staff to understand the specific needs of students with IEPs and create individualized learning plans that support their growth.
Perfect example. You've shown that you understand inclusive education, and you're ready to create a supportive environment for everyone.
And of course, RoleCatcher's AI can help me tailor this answer too, right?
You bet.
Make sure I'm highlighting the inclusion strategies that align with the school's philosophy.
Exactly. And they might hit you with a follow-up.
Like, yeah.
Can you describe a specific accommodation you would make for a student with ADHD who struggles to focus during class?
That's putting inclusive practices into action.
Right. So you could mention providing a fidget toy,
Oh, that's a good one.
allowing them to take breaks to move around, or breaking down assignments into smaller pieces.
Right.
The main thing is to show that you understand the challenges these students face, and you're ready to make adjustments to help them learn.
Yeah, creating an environment where everyone can thrive, no matter their needs.
Exactly. And remember, your answer should always be genuine.
Mm-hmm.
RoleCatcher's AI is a powerful tool, but it works best when you use it to show who you really are and how passionate you are about education.
It's about amplifying your strengths, not replacing them.
Perfectly said. Okay, let's tackle another challenging question.
Hey, hit me.
Can you tell us about a time when you had to deal with a difficult situation in the classroom?
Oh, the dreaded behavioral question.
Right. They want to see how you solve problems, how you stay calm under pressure, and how professional you are in tough situations.
So I need a story that shows I can handle conflict and keep the learning environment positive.
Exactly. Think of a situation that was really challenging and let you show off your skills in resolving conflicts or managing difficult behavior.
Okay, what kind of story would work well?
Could be about a disruptive student, a conflict between students, a safety issue, even a disagreement with a colleague.
Okay.
The important thing is to pick a story that highlights your ability to stay calm, assess the situation, take the right steps, and resolve the conflict effectively.
All right, so let's say I saw a student being bullied at recess.
Okay. Serious situation.
How should I handle that?
You need to act immediately.
Yeah.
Calmly separate the students involved, then talk to each student one-on-one,
Right.
emphasize the importance of kindness and respect,
Yeah.
and of course, report the incident to the teacher or playground supervisor following the school's procedures for dealing with bullying.
That's taking swift action.
And don't forget to mention the outcome.
Right.
Did the bullying stop?
Okay.
Was the victim supported?
Okay.
Those details show that your actions were effective.
So it's not just about handling the situation, but also about creating positive change.
Exactly. And I bet RoleCatcher can help with this response too, right?
For sure. How so?
Their AI can look at your story and point out areas where you might be downplaying your role or missing opportunities to showcase your skills.
It's like having a virtual editor for my interview answers.
Exactly. All right, one last question in this set.
Okay, bring it on.
Can you tell us about a time when you implemented a new teaching strategy or approach?
This is a chance to show I'm always learning and growing as an educator.
Exactly. Pick a time when you tried something new in the classroom.
Okay.
Something that had a positive impact on student learning.
What kind of story would impress them?
It could be a new teaching method you learned about,
Yeah.
a different way of assessing students,
Okay.
or a creative approach to classroom management.
Got it.
The key is to highlight your willingness to experiment, reflect on your teaching, and constantly look for ways to improve your skills.
So, like, if I was working with a student who was struggling with writing,
Okay.
what would be an example of a new teaching strategy?
You could introduce a new graphic organizer to help them brainstorm and organize their ideas. Or maybe you try a different way of giving feedback, focusing on their strengths instead of just pointing out mistakes.
That's a good approach.
And don't forget to highlight the positive outcomes.
Oh, right.
Did the students' writing improve? Did they become more confident?
Those details really matter.
They really do. It's about showing your impact as an educator.
Yeah, making a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And before we wrap up this section, remember that RoleCatcher can help you polish this answer too.
Okay, how so?
Their AI can look at your response and suggest ways to make it even stronger, highlighting what you did and the positive results you achieved.
It's like having a virtual coach in my corner.
Exactly. Now, as we head into the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we'll explore some more resources and strategies to help you nail this interview and land that secondary school teaching assistant job.
Sounds good. All right, so we've talked about a lot of questions, how to answer them, even some tricky follow-ups.
Right.
But before we go practice in the mirror, Let's go back to those RoleCatcher AI features.
Okay.
It's not just about interview questions.
Yeah.
They actually help you tailor your whole application.
Yeah, it's like having an expert in hiring trends for secondary school teaching assistants.
Oh, wow.
But available anytime you need them.
So walk me through it if I've got my CV ready.
Yeah.
How does RoleCatcher help?
So you upload your CV,
Okay.
and their AI analyzes the specific job description you're applying for, not just looking for keywords, but figuring out what skills and experience they actually want.
That's cool.
And then it suggests changes to your wording,
Okay.
highlights your best achievements. Basically, make sure your CV is speaking their language.
That's like a stylist, but for my career. I
Exactly.
love that, making sure you look your best.
And it's not just about looking good.
Oh, what else?
It also analyzes those application questions we were talking about.
Okay.
It can tell if your answers are too generic or if you're missing key points the hiring manager wants to see.
So it's like having a second set of eyes on my application.
Exactly. And the best part is it's all personalized for you.
Oh, wow.
It takes into account your experience, the specific job, even trends in education hiring in your area.
That's incredible.
It really is. It's like having a custom roadmap for your job search.
Okay, before we finish up, what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
Preparation is key. Don't just wing it.
Yeah.
Study those common questions, practice out loud, and use all the resources you can, including RoleCatcher's AI tools.
And besides knowing the answers, what else matters?
Let your passion shine through.
Oh, yeah.
Hiring managers can tell if you're faking it.
For sure.
They want to see that you're excited about working with young people and making a difference.
So don't be afraid to show your enthusiasm.
Exactly.
Okay, any last words of wisdom?
It's okay to be nervous. Everyone gets butterflies before an interview.
That's true.
But if you prepare well and let your true self shine through, you'll do great.
That's a great point. You've got the knowledge, the tools, and the passion. Go out there and ace that interview.
Good luck. We're rooting for you.